Welcome back to Cooking with David. Today I'm going to be making my famous chicken wraps, but a low carb style with butter lettuce. So what I've done is I started boiling some water and I put in a cinnamon stick, a few bay leaves, some cardamom, and some whole cloves. I'm going to get some chicken, probably going to put like 2 breasts in there. Just boil it until the chicken's done. Once that's done, I'll show you the rest of the things I need to do to make my special chicken. Alright. So I boiled my chicken for about, 20-30 minutes. Now it's resting over here. I'm going to let it cool down. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up some onions. I'm just going to kind of slice them. I have 2 breasts and I have 2 onions. The amount of onions you use is kind of up to you, how much you like onions. I like them a lot. So I probably would even use another one if I had it, but I only have 2. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to cut them in half, and then I'm just going to chop them. So I'm going to be like a chop. I'm not going to make them real small. I'll show you what it looks like after I finish chopping them. So I got my onion peeled. I'm going to cut it now. I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to do what's known as the onion challenge. Alright, so what you do is you take an onion after you've cut it and you put it near your eye and you try to hold your eye open using only your muscles. See if I can do it. Give it a couple squeezes to release. Ah! Oh. Actually, don't do that. Okay, I'm going to chop the onion and I'll show you next. This is what happens when you do the onion challenge. You get uncontrollable, well, just cutting an onion feels like this, so don't put it in your eye like I did. It was definitely a mistake. Now I have my onions. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of cooking oil in here. And I'm going to saute the onions until they turn transparent on kind of like a medium-high heat. While I'm doing that, I'm going to take this chicken and I'm going to basically pull it apart into little strings. You can use fork or you can use your hands. I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done, once I get the onions cooking and all that. So this is what the chicken looks like after it's all kind of broken up, little stringies. I used a method for my friend Julian and Vince. I used 2 forks and kind of strung it out with that. Over here's the onions, still cooking just on like number 5. I'm going to cook them until they're basically translucent. So it's just nice and slow. If you turn it up too hot, they get kind of scorched and kind of fried, and it's not really what you want. You want to make sure you have enough oil in there. Don't be, too stingy with it. And then pretty soon I'll put the chicken in and some spices, and that's basically it. So I'll show you once I get there. All right. Cooking with David! So, I made a mistake, and when I drained the chicken, I should have kept the juices. You can use it as chicken stock. It's really tasty. I don't know if I said, but I put cardamom, cloves, and bay leaves in there, and a cinnamon stick. For spices, I'm going to be using these spices here. This is like an Arab 5 spice. And this spice here is called sumac. So, you can find that sometimes in the store. This one's from Lebanon, so it's better. It's more fragrant. So is this spice, both from Lebanon. I'll use some salt as well. And typically I like to put cayenne pepper in there, but since my son's going to eat it, we'll skip the cayenne this time. So I'll show you once I get the chicken in there. There are the onions right now. They're almost ready for the chicken. Once I put the chicken in and put it on high heat, maybe I might put a little bit more oil. I'll put a hefty amount of the spices in there and just kind of fry it up. And then it's done. I'm ready to put in... I used to put it in tortillas or Arabic bread and then bake it. I'd wrap them like wraps and then bake it. This time I got some butter lettuce from the farmer's market, and we're going to put it in that for a wrap instead to make it a bit healthier. So I'll show you that once I get going. So I got my chicken in now. I turned the heat up high. I add some spices. So the 5 spice. Now the sumac. And I'm just going to stir it. I'll add some salt too. I'm also going to add a bit of water just to moisten the chicken. But I suggest keeping your chicken stock and using that instead. So I'm going to add some, probably add a little oil, add some salt, and then some water. And then that's it. So I'll show you when I'm done. So here's the final product. You can see I did add some water to make it juicy and nice. So yeah, hopefully you can find the spices. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you do the onion challenge. Like I said, at this point you could take it, let it cool, wrap it in tortillas, place them on a pan like this, and bake them until it gets nice and crispy. That's a really good way to do it. But for us, we're gonna wrap it in some butter lettuce. So let me know how your recipe goes, and let's cook it with David!